Credit to all. Thank you. I'm only here for God. How many of us really say that to ourselves day in and day out? Get up in the morning and look in the mirror and say, I'm only here for God today. I'm only here as God. Oh boy, watch out world, here God comes. Nobody?
I say I'm full of it.
We're all full of it. We're all full of it, the big it. You know, the thing itself, Spirit. And this week is the beginning of a series where we are going to have a 29-day consciousness cleanse. We are upping our consciousness, so fasten your seatbelts and get ready to go on the ride. Today we're going to actually talk about preparing for the game. Now, the game, what are we talking about? It's called the game of life. It is about what I do in and out of every day. It's what I think, it's what I say, it's what I do. It is what you say, it is what you think, and it is what you do. Because one of the things that I've always done in my life is that I've looked at life as an adventure. Now, when my daughter was young, every time we moved or any time I changed jobs or circumstances changed, I would say to her, now darling, this is not about a change. This is about an adventure. Well, about the time she got to be about 15 or 16, we were moving one more time. And I said, now darling, don't look at this as a big change. This is about an adventure. And she said, you ever say that word to me again? As only a 15-year-old can say. She gave me the mother look. And I knew I better not tell her about adventures anymore. But it didn't change me. I have had an incredible amount of adventures. And as a matter of fact, one time my daughter said, you should write a book, Mom. You should write a book about your life and all the things that you've done and the changes you've made and where you've been and what you've seen. I was on the edge of history in Alaska when it became a state. I was in North Carolina when it became desegregated. I mean, she said, you've done a lot of things. She said, but I would suggest you call it the misadventures of your life. I took it kindly, years later. But the idea is that life is an adventure. My life is an adventure, and your life is an adventure. Can you just imagine some of the adventures you've had if you were to write a story about it? People might cry and be with you in the pain. They might laugh and think of it as the funny episode that you now think it is. They might take inspiration from it. They might be guided through some of the pathways of their own life. Now, we heard from Ernest Holmes this morning from Diane Decker that our pathway is one of illumination. Now, that's true for all of us. Not just ministers, not just ministerial students, not just practitioners, but all of us. And when we approach life as if it were a game, we begin to move away from that ego and personality that we like to carry around with us. And that's part of this cleansing the consciousness. And I'm going to give you some rules later on for that. It's about letting go of the seriousness and to enjoy the dance of life. Anybody here like to dance? I was like really ready to jump up and start dancing to Ricky Byers, sung by Donna Landry. But it's amazing. One of the things in a study guide I had for the children today was think about a rule of life as being to dance. Dance while you work. Stand at the copier. Okay. Going on an errand. It's like the other day I decided to take a walk, and the first part of the walk I was doing a little bit of stomping. And then all of a sudden I thought, wait a minute, what am I talking about on Sunday? Oh yeah, dance. And so coming back, I was a little freer with my movements. I wasn't stomping quite as much. See, as soon as I remember. So I would suppose that one of the rules rules of life is to